crafty people, and welcome to my channel. Today we have an episode from my Crafty Classes program, and this is an Advanced Adventures class. Today we're going to be going over how to do glimmer foiling on acetate. And I put this topic under the Advanced Adventures because this is something that I'm still working on, and there is a little bit of a learning curve with the hot foiling. There's a little bit more variables involved rather than with the foiling that you can do in your Mink machine, laminator, fuse machine, like that. That is with the toner foiling, and that is a little bit easier. There's not as much of a learning curve, but with the glimmer, and I think that Gemini has one as well. It's just there's a little bit more variables, so you've got to kind of play around with your system to get a good impression. So I just wanted to kind of I have to make a project for Spellbinders, so I was going to go ahead and do that. So I thought, well, while I have the glimmer out, we could go through it together. So when you get the system, there's a like a docking station, and then you have a platform, and then this just slides right in. There's a little like a slot, kind of like an old video game, like an old Nintendo cartridge. That's what it reminds me of. But then there's a spot in here, and that just slides in, and that's how it starts heating up. So this surface is actually going to get very hot once you turn it on, so you do want to be careful. You get the plug, so you plug it in the back, and then you turn the on switch. So you'll see the lights come on here. And so we just need to wait for this to, there's a platform ready, and then there's a timer. So when it says platform ready, that's when you can put on your pieces. And then once everything's in place, then you hit the timer. And when that light goes off, then it's hot enough for you to run through your die cut machine. You can use any Spellbinders machine, and this is also compatible with any Sizzix machine. So I have a Sizzix switch machine off to the side, so that's what I will be using. And I also do believe the Gina K Intracut will work with this as well. So I'm just letting that warm up while we're chatting a little bit. You do also get this little silicone mat, and this is good because these the plates get quite hot. So what you can do is you take, this is a little a magnet, right? And then when you want to release it, you just push the button. So you would take them off and put them onto the mat so that they can cool down. And there's also one that looks like this, and there's a magnet in there, and you can use that to pick it up also. And then you just open that and it will come off because the magnet is in there. So you got to have it together to pick it up, and then you can just open it and it'll pop off. All right, just as far as keeping track of all of your stuff, I like to use these little plastic envelopes. This one is from scrapbook.com, but there's a lot of different ones out there. And I just keep my extra foils in here because you never know when you can just use a little scrap. Like, these are great for if you're gonna do sentiments or things like that. You want to make sure you use the right foil for your system. So in this case, we have the Spellbinders Glimmer. This was a 2-pack. It had white and it has black. That we're going to use the black today. And if you're going to foil on acetate, you want to make sure, this is from Simon Says Stamp, but you want it to make sure it says heat resistant, because otherwise it will melt. And you don't really want that. So, let's see. So here's the foil we're going to use today. So I have an older glimmer system, and The older one is kind of hard to get out of the docking station, and what would end up happening is that if you had the pieces on here and you had the foil and then you put on the plates on top, if you had that all together and you were trying to pull this out, a lot of times the plates would shift and the foil would shift with the action of pulling it out, and you would get a double foiling. So with the older system, what I like to do is heat this up, heat up the plates, then when it's ready to go, I will undock it and then put the plates on the top, just to help that so you don't get the double foiling. But you do get a shim, and then you get the top plate. So again, your die machine, you might not need the shim, or depending on how thick the paper is, you might not need the shim. You do always need the top plate though. Alright, so for the first one, I already went through and cut this, but I will show you how we can prepare for the second one. So also one thing is that, especially with the older system, is that you don't want, like the foil can kind of get wrinkled up or bunched up, and then that can also create a overfoiling. So what I did is I took my acetate and I cut the piece of the foil, and then I just taped it on top of the acetate so this will stay nice and flat. So once we put the plates on, you want the pretty side of the foil to touch the plate, because basically you're kind of ironing on an image onto the paper. In our case, we have the acetate as the paper. I did wash the acetate in water just to get all of the static off, and it is good practice to use a Swiffer or a large fluffy makeup brush to get any dust that is on the foil, so that you will get a good adhere to your paper or your acetate. So while this is going, I can show you, hopefully, if we have enough room. Another tool that I really like to use for the foil, and this is actually good for if you're doing the toner foiling as well, is I have this little self-healing mat. This is from We Are Memory Keepers, and it came with a magnetic ruler. And so I like to, and this is really stuck on there, and here's the Cricut rotary trimmer. So I like to do my cutting of the foil right on here, and this the ruler helps keep that, like, hold. It's like an extra hand. It helps me hold that. So just trying to think of how we can, let me turn this because it is getting hot. Okay, so let me show you. So if we have the foil, so this, the Glimmer Foil comes in a roll. I don't know how much room I need around each of the images, so I'm just cutting a whole strip to go across the whole paper. This is 6.5 inches long, so I'm going to cut this at 6.5. So, and this is actually 7. So what I like to do is I unroll this and then add that to the edge. So now this is stuck on there, and it'll hold it down for me. And then I just take the rotary trimmer and go right along, and then now I have my cut piece. It's a lot easier than, you know, a lot of times you're like kind of You like holding this up and cutting it in the air and all the things, and so it's a little bit easier. And then so just roll this up, and if I can find the package, just put it back in the package. And the Glimmer Foil comes in all different colors, and like iridescent and gold and sparkly and all the things. Alright, so we'll put this away. Alright. Oh, and we have a green light, so our platform is ready. Alright, I'm just going to move this foil out of the way for now, and I'll show you how to put that together in a little bit. Alright, so I have 4 images, and these are actually BetterPress plates. And I have heard that people have better luck, it's a little bit easier foiling with BetterPress plates than the regular hot foil plates, which is kind of interesting. So these are from the Wonder of Oz collection. And so we have our lion here. So this is really hot, so be careful. I'm just trying to get, I need to leave some room because I'm going to be die cutting these. And here, Spellbinders sent me these, so I don't have the regular product packaging, but I'm just trying to check the dies and make sure I'll have enough room in between those two. Alright, so once we have that in place, then you're going to hit the timer button, and that is going to, right now what's happening, like first you were just heating up the platform, and now we're actually heating up the plates. So it just takes a couple minutes to get going. This is not magnetic, so if you when you go to put it in your die cut machine or kind of shifting it around, these will slide. So you want to be careful about that. Alright, so let's see, as far as this goes, so we have our acetate, we have the foil. I'm going to take a Swiffer and just get any dust off the back. And so the pretty side of the foil is going to be touching the plate. Okay. Oop, we're ready on that one. So I'm just going to give that an extra second. So I have that on there, and then I'm going to put the tape on the edge. This is just pixie tape. So that stays nice and smooth with no wrinkles. Okay, so I'll use that one for our second one. So what we're going to do, so we have Dorothy and our lion here. I am going to pull this off because mine is tough to do. So then I'm laying this over here, making sure the foil is over the images. Okay. And then I'm going to stack up the shim and the plate, and I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. Okay, I'll take this off. And we have this, and then we can use our magnets. And then we can push this back in. So then it's going to go through the cycle again of getting the platform warm and all of that. And it's not recommended to go back and forth through your die cut machine, just so that you don't get a double foiling. It's just send it through once, and that is good enough. Alright, so let's take this off. We'll see how we did. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Look at that. And you can save this foil. You can actually do a reverse foil of this, which would be really cool. You just need to get a full solid plate, and then you can use this reverse image. Ah, this came out great. So my plan for this was I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to color them from behind. Because you can see through them, you'll be able to see the color. And I'm going to do kind of like a scene card, so that hopefully will all come true. Alright, so here's our images. And there is like a little bit of the overfoiling right there, but that's okay because we're using the die cut, so no biggie deal there. Alright, we'll go through the second one. Alright, so our platform is ready. And we'll get the characters on here. And then you hit the timer. I just need to let that warm up. And these cool down very quickly. I mean, right now it's not warm at all, so it doesn't take too long. Alright, and we're ready to go. And again, I'm just pulling this out ahead of time. I'm going to put on the foil piece, and then the shim and the top plate, and run it through my die cut machine. Okay, I'm just going to turn this off. Let that cool down, and you want it to cool completely before you store it. Just letting this cool off a little bit. This came out great too. That looks fabulous. And again, so everything that I showed today is exactly the same method if you were using any other foil and any other paper. You can use colored cardstock, you can use white, you can use anything. A lot of people have more success with using, I think there's like a hammermill white that's very smooth. But I did, like I was saying before, I did hear that foiling with the BetterPress plates is easier than the hot foil plates, which I will completely attest to today, because I've had a difficult time with overfoiling with the hot foil plates, and today was the first time that I did it and I had zero issues. So that's pretty exciting. So now I feel like maybe I will use this a little bit more, you know, so that'll be exciting, because there is a little bit of a learning curve with it, but we were very successful today, so that's exciting. I will list everything I used today in the description box. I do have affiliate links. And if you enjoyed the video today and want to support my channel, I would love it if you could hit that like button and also consider subscribing to my channel. And it really helps me to get out my content to other creators just like you. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I hope this has been helpful. And let me know if you have any other questions in the comment box, or let me know if you've tried foiling and if you've had any success with that. Alright, if you want to stick around, I can list up on the top my card making playlist, so if you need any inspiration or ideas, you can find some there. And I think that's it. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye bye.